Dementor.
Track me to. I believe I follow them. Oh, there you are. Perfect.
Mattel presenta el Gast de ataque con proyectiles de Minecraft. Ahí van Steve y Dennis. Los piglins a bordo de los Gasts.
Hold on one second. I'm watching a zebra ad here.
Ooh, zebra. That's my favorite kind.
Let me put my music on mute real quick, so I can hear your stuff. Let me put my music on mute real quick. He already got a bath. I watched him and everything because I didn't know how long you're going to be, and I wasn't sure what time they're going to start the tournament. So he's set. He's good to go. He did want popcorn, so I just gave him popcorn until he's ready to eat.
Ooh, popcorn sounds good right now. Damn.
Okay.
Making me hungry.
All right. There's no ad now, so let me just put the volume on. Do not hear anything.
Who are we waiting on for perspectives?
Oh, so many people.
I know so many people. Who are we waiting on for
That's why you're gonna have to really take lead on the beginning if that's cool, Hog. Just because I'm gonna
It's
you're
so
gonna have
much
to
work.
really one by one begin if that's cool, Hog.
Okay.
It's so much work.
One by one begin if that's cool, Hog.
Okay, I hear it's like a very low piano is what I'm hearing. I just had to deafen everybody.
I think your music's just really low.
There we go. That's perfect. Right there at this level. I'm gonna go back
Y'all
up
get a
to
cool
really low.
zebra ad, and I just get a camper ad.
I did
Hello?
it.
What'd
I
you
did
do?
it without the sound. I managed to do it. I did it to like three of the teams easily.
Oh man. I'm telling you, you need to change it to the Pirates of the Caribbean opening.
Oh, our Discord's coming through.
Yeah, our Discord's coming through. Like everyone's point of views, we only have
I have 8 right now.
Oh, you have 8?
Yeah.
Right. And how many are we waiting on? There should be 8 because there's 4 teams, and we're still getting the Discord audio
there's-
coming through
It's,
on the
Alright,
Twitch
so
stream.
someone from Gryffindor is late. I'm gonna see if they can play one like game without them. I'm sure they can. I'll be back.
We get to hear that in the starting soon screen on the Twitch stream. Oh man, I can't light my candle before the match starts. Yeah, screw it, my camera's not being shown.
okay,
I'll
Hog, who's
just-
the first game between?
Where is that at?
I don't know.
Well, wasn't in like which text channel?
I don't think it was in one of those. I think it would have been posted in like the.
So Gryffindor has a player that's running late. So we can start Slytherin versus Slytherin versus Ravenclaw. We can start. I'll go let them know to get ready. Yes, I'm just yeah. I just got just waiting on clarification from those two.
You do not let me speak in my
I'm
club.
trying to fix it.
You're more likely to know. In time, you'll come to see just how much. People change. I've changed. See?
Yeah, Dementor. The first match is Slytherin and Ravenclaw because one of the Gryffindor players is late.
All right, so I don't have the seeker perspective, which is unfortunate, but that's okay.
Oh, we're audible, by the way.
Cool.
Oh, we're live. I just now realized that no one tells me these things.
Amazing.
I literally just looked down at my
hello.
Twitch and I see it. We're live. Hello. Also, your camera's not showing up, Cleet.
Oh, well, all right.
Yes, your camera's.
Hello, hello, hello.
The Shadow Realm. I banish you to the Shadow Realm.
Awesome. Well, okay. Welcome everyone then to Black Lake Quidditch here. We do have the Founders Cup going on today between the 4 houses, Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, and Slytherin. You will see all of the houses playing today. Our first game that we're going to have kicking off the tournament here is Slytherin versus Ravenclaw. Hog, you want to give us a rundown on who's playing today?
Yes, I'd love to. So, for Slytherin's side on Chasers, we have Cardi, Mew, Nislin. For Beater on Slytherins, we have Tux. Seeker is Green Black Cat. Keeper is Shade. Now for Ravenclaw's side, we have Jim Tones, T Dreams, Otterina, Teddy Reddy, Trobo 11, and Copu Gamer. I'm kind of interesting with the lineup for Slytherin because we have seen Cardi and how they play as Chaser.
Yeah, and coming off of this, we do have, it's important to mention, Gryffindor coming in as the reigning champions for this Founders Cup right now. So they are going to be trying to hold their title, whereas I believe it was Slytherin in the finals with them last time. So Slytherin is definitely going to come and try and take that title away that they almost had last tournament there as well. All right, and then as far as teams go, it does look like we've still got some lineups happening for these teams. We do have a finding game situation. I believe this will be the actual match here that is loading up. So once we see if the teams are getting into a game here, then we will go ahead and flip over to their perspectives. But again, first up is Slytherin versus Ravenclaw. We'll be doing a kind of a round robin portion for the beginning here, where each house will play all of the other houses. And then the two two teams with the best record after that will face off in a final game, I believe is how we are structured today for this tournament.
That is true. It's going to start out with 2v3, or best 2 out of 3. And then the finals, I believe, will be the 1v1s. Or one best match out of 1.
Perfect. That makes absolute sense here. All right. Teams currently... Nope, still not going in there. I do want to chat a little bit about bringing people in here to chat with Hog and myself as well. So especially after your game. So if you play a game, your team's done for a while another team is getting set up, you can absolutely hop in here. We have a section under the special events category in the Discord called Waiting Room. So any of the players today, once you're done chatting, if you want to hop in there and chat, and you don't have to be playing at all, if you just want to hop in there and hang out, if we see people hanging out in the waiting room and we have time, we'll pull you in here to kind of get your perspective. So definitely feel free to jump in there if you'd like to weigh in today, and that includes now. We are waiting for these games to begin. So while we're waiting, we absolutely can. As of now, it does Slytherin and Ravenclaw. No, they are still not in a game at this point. So with that in mind, Hog, obviously going into this Slytherin Ravenclaw game, talk to me about some of these players. Obviously, we know some. We've played on teams with some before. So talk to me about what you know going into this from each person.
So from what I know personally, I do know that Cardi is a powerhouse on Chaser. They are able to pass, like get the plays for passing, and also they are primarily strong in ISO shots. It is interesting because I do know Tux to be kind of like that flex beater keeper role, but it will be interesting to see Tux's beater rather than his normal role during League 7, which was keeper. Um, but I do know on the Ravenclaw side that with Teddy Reddy and T Dreams, now they have shown before that they are a very solid pair of chasers for setup shots, working together with each other, and be able to overcome certain keepers. But Ravenclaw did struggle in the first tournament against Slytherin and did lose.
Yes, and we actually are getting into match. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna start off here. This is going to be a beater perspective here from Tux as we get into this Slytherin versus Ravenclaw match right now. Some other perspectives we will have. We have Shade as the keeper and Olympus Mew as one of the chasers. For Ravenclaw, we're gonna have T Dreams as one of our chasers and Jim Tones as the beater.
It will be interesting to see how Jim Tones does this beater. I haven't really seen them play much, but it will be interesting to see them.
Well, on that note, let's bring Jim Tones in here. So this is currently the perspective of Jim Tones, the Ravenclaw beater.
He did actually get that hit on that seeker on that corner, but it will be interesting to see, how his play style is, if he's more of seeker focused game or if he has that split focus. Because as we've seen in the last tournament, that split focus really can determine the seeker and quaffle game.
Truly, and he is actually, it looks like he just took a hit on Tux, the opposing beater, the Slytherin beater there. He is trying to take Tux out. Tux is low, and Jim almost gets that final hit, but is not able to take out Tux. Tux is riding on just a little bit of health. Jim going for him there. Tux surviving and making those dodges happen here. And there is Tux regenning as we see T Dreams score there, making the score 10-0 in favor of Ravenclaw.
That is interesting because I do know between T and Shade, Shade is keeper. T has been able to dissect almost to a precise point of getting past Shade. But we did just see Cardi in the background score against CompuGamer, tying that
Yeah,
up
and
to
that
10-10. And the Seeker race is also very evenly matched. I mean, Slytherin just lost a little bit from this Meter Thief, so they are pretty close in that.
definitely. And we unfortunately do not have any secret perspectives to jump over to that right now. But we've got T Robbo on for the Ravenclaws and then Green Black Cat for the Slytherins. T Dreams in possession of the ball, went for a drift shot there. It did not go through those. Shade able to kick it on out back to his team. Cardi now in possession. We are going to flip on over to Olympus Mew for right now as they are in possession of the quaffle. Olympus Mew passing it on up, but it is picked up by a Ravenclaw chaser. So to flip on back to the Ravenclaw team here, we've got T Dream setting up for a one-timer, and he is able to. T receives that one-timer kick and sends it straight on through for a 20-point lead now. I'm sorry, 20-10, a 10-point lead for Ravenclaw.
Now, it was a beautiful score, but it's a 50-50 shot with those long-range one-timers if it's actually going to go through or if it's actually going to fail. But we do have that Slytherin just
Yeah,
scored
that was
another
Olympus
goal.
Mew.
That is true. And what they did, and I saw that perfectly, is they did a shovel pass to actually score. They didn't go head onto the goals like Ravenclaw's been doing.
Definitely. And Ravenclaw Chasers, we're going to swap back to them as they are in possession of the quaffle. T setting up for another one-timer. It does not make it through, though. Looks like the aim was not quite ready. Trying
Going
for
again, and he
another, though,
made it.
and recovers. And in the background, T Robbo catches the snitch. That adds 10 points from T Dreams and 30 from T Robbo, making it a 60-20 in favor of Ravenclaw.
You know, I mean, Ravenclaw from the first tournament to this one, they are telling Slytherin that they are not going to beat them again. They are not giving that chance.
Absolutely. Let's flip back over to Slytherin now as they are in possession of the. Actually, never mind. We'll hang on. Ravenclaw as they were able to get the quaffle from Slytherin, head down to the Slytherin posts there, and able to get another one through that makes it 70-20 in favor of Ravenclaw.
They are truly after it. I mean, you know, we haven't seen any knockouts for Seeker or Beater side. But that's very
Definitely.
interesting. I mean, they're able to cause enough disruption to where they don't really need that knockout. They're causing that, you know, that meter thief to really work for itself. And then you had Jim Tones actually steal Tux's bludger,
Yeah,
so
and
he
that is what
couldn't
we
get
are
the
looking
hit.
at now. Just so you know, is the beater Jim Tones on the side of Ravenclaw, chasing down the Seeker, trying to do some damage. I'm going to flip over to Tux as well, the beater for Slytherin, to see what he's up to. He's in background, back cam, trying to take out. Is that Jim? Is that the Seeker? Yeah, it's a Seeker. There he is going after. Seeker being T. Rabo there for Ravenclaw.
He is also keeping an eye on that Quaffle game in the background. As you just saw, he switched that rear cam just to see, not only check for Jim Tones, but also see where that Quaffle was on their side.
Definitely. And the Quaffle right now is in possession, or is that Slytherins, excuse me, have possession. So let's switch on over to a chaser perspective. This is Olympus Mew for the Slytherins.
But CompuGamer did
Um,
make that save against Cardi, who had it. And now Ravenclaw is in
absolutely.
possession, heading down to their field.
And
They do
Teddy
not
Ready
make
took the
that
shot.
score.
Yep, did not make it, unfortunately. T Dreams going after a Tux hit, so they are putting some beater pressure on with their chasers right now. As we get a little bit closer here to the end of that snitch race. Ravenclaw is in the lead with that snitch at the moment, but not by much. And with a bump or a hit that just happened, we saw it go down a little bit too.
It's very interesting to see that Kari did just make a goal there, though. But it's very interesting to
Absolutely.
see that it's a very different outlook and a very different play styles from the last tournament to this one with Slytherin and Ravenclaw.
Yeah, let's flip over to beaters again as that snitch race is getting close. Slytherin needs to catch this snitch. Jim Tones right now we're looking at is the beater from Ravenclaw, is trying to make sure that doesn't happen. And we do see a fall for the Slytherin Seeker there. Green Black Cat is down. Which does keep the lead there for Ravenclaw. Can they catch this snitch? We're going to go to Tux, who is probably doing everything he can to stop this snitch catch, and is able to make a little bit of a difference, but unfortunately, it looks like it's just not enough time. As we know, the snitch catch would only be 30 points, but T. Rabo wants to capitalize on those point totals. So Ravenclaw is going to take that as a win. Ravenclaw 110 to Slytherin's 40 for game one.
That was interesting to see. I mean, you know, like I said before, Tux primarily played or keeper. But seeing that beater roll, it almost seems like it was a little bit of maybe getting the rust off, or maybe not so smart of a move for him to be out of that keeper role.
Yeah, and maybe it is, like you said, just kind of readjusting to that role. A lot of people in the community, I think, have been doing some role change-ups so that we're not always playing the exact same role that we have for the whole time. Keeps it lively, keeps it interesting. So that could be what we saw here. Now, obviously, Shade and Tux are both great keepers too, so that does make a decision when you only have one keeper to have as well. So I will be interested to see if going into this next match, do they keep Tux in that beater spot? Do they do some swapping, put Tux on keeper, anything like that? Because those snitch catches really will make a difference here. T. Rabo capitalizing on those points really made a difference for Ravenclaw this match.
Yeah, this will be interesting for the second game. Wonder if they're going to do any kind of, you know, switch ups, what they're going to do. And I believe they're going to have Flyrish actually come in, if I'm not mistaken. At least he's trying to.
Yeah, so we may see some team change-ups there then as far as who is in these rosters. That will give us some different perspectives as well to watch throughout here. Um, now, that being said, for the Ravenclaw perspective, obviously they won this game. What do you think is the most important thing for them to stay strong on, to keep going in order to make that win happen again for them?
I will say, stay strong is that chaser game, that only little 10-point lead can add up over time, and they need to stay strong on their defensive plays for keeper and for their defensive plays as chaser as well, because you could have that snitch, but the other team could have that snitch insurance just so they have that cushion.
Definitely.
They do. Ravenclaws do need to keep that mindset and not get like their ego inflated because they did just win that first game. They have to keep that mindset of thinking basically like they still need to think it's the first game and not, oh, we won a game, we can take it easy now.
Yeah, absolutely. I do think the players are loading up, if I'm not mistaken. So let's go ahead
And I did just get an update while we're waiting. The Slytherin side did change. For Chaser, they have Prophecy, Cardi, Clee, if you can pronounce the other name because I'm not going to butcher it.
I apologize. I'm not looking at the list right now. Who are we looking at?
We just got an update in the casting booth of the Slytherin
Chintasu.
Chintasu, thank you.
Yeah, Chintasu.
We have Tux as Seeker now, Flyrish as Beater, and me as Keeper. So they did like a full... Sorry, Shade is Keeper.
Gotcha.
Thanks for the fix on the update. So it does look like they changed... It does look like they changed their chaser lineup pretty drastically. They did change that Tux is now going to be a Seeker, which will be interesting to see. Flyrish as Beater. I have versed him as Beater, and he is not a beater to scoff at. I mean, he is almost a strong all-around player, but his main roles is chaser and beater.
Yeah. Awesome, and I think we are going to see Tux here on Seeker as well. So that will change up. I apologize if you said that already, but that is another change that might be happening on here. All right, we are still waiting for teams to get ready. Yes, we are. Also, just a reminder there, that waiting room is open. If you would like to pop in there and then come hang out with us, chat a little bit between these games, feel free to hang out in there, especially between games. Hog will keep an eye on there and hopefully be able to pull some others in as well. All right, teams are finding server currently. They are heading to Ilvermorny for this game, so heading over to America for this Ravenclaw Slytherin match at the moment. Let's go ahead. We'll start off with, since we haven't had a Seeker perspective, we'll start off with Tux's perspective. That'll give us the Seeker from Slytherin that we will go ahead and load in here for you.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see, with the whole change of the Slytherin side, to see how they all work together. Because Flyrish, I know, is itching to beat out the Ravenclaw side, and especially with him being beater, he has that good split focus between Quaffle and Seeker. So it's going to be interesting to see. And we do see that Cardi is in possession of the Quaffle currently.
Yes, but Tux did get that that find, the snitch find, excuse me. So Tux gets that 5% lead for the Slytherin team as their Seeker. Let's go ahead and flip on over to the Chaser game for a little bit, though. This is T Dreams from Ravenclaw, but Cardi scores as I do that switch for Slytherin, putting the Slytherins on the board with 10 points.
It is interesting, seeing how Cardi had the possession of Quaffle most of the first to the start of this, and still proceeds to score that goal. But seeing T, and then we have 26 with it, and they did not make that goal even with the pass.
Yes,
but
and I believe 26 is Otarina, just so you know as well. That's the name
I
most
do
people
know
would
that, but I'm not
okay.
going to accidentally butcher that name. So I'm going to stick with
Understood.
26, respectfully, Out Arena. I am sorry.
Fair enough. Prophecy, though, heading straight for the goal, making another score for the Slytherins, putting us at 0-20 in favor of the Slytherins. Um, Let's go ahead and take a look here. This is going to be the Slytherin keeper Shade, who hasn't had a whole lot going on, as the Koffel has been mostly at the Slytherin's scoring end. However, there is a save right there from Shade, the Slytherin keeper, sending it right out to his chasers, Prophecy and Shintatsu.
It is very true. And also, if you look up in the top, we see that the snitch race, because of because of Tux finding that snitch first, they still have that little bit of an advantage for that snitch race, that snitch meter. It'll be interesting how Ravenclaw will not only try and come back from the 20-0 score right now, but also how they will come back in the secret race. Because if they don't, on both those sides, this will be almost a one-sided match.
Yeah, and we did switch over here to the Ravenclaws as they have possession of the Quaffle heading down, but T Dreams is peeling off to put some pressure on the beater. So chaser pressure happening on the beater because they are switching on over to the snitch race now. Ravenclaw really needs to catch this snitch. I'm gonna pull up here the Ravenclaw beater because we do not have T Rabo's perspective. So this is Jim Tones, who was just eliminated. I'm sorry, T Dreams was just eliminated by Shade, the Slytherin keeper here. However, now we are looking at Jim Tones, the
Ooh.
beater, trying to make sure Tux does not make that catch.
Tux did just get kicked by Ravenclaw's keeper. They did just get kicked by CompuGamer, so that could be determining. And it is, because T-Robo does make that catch.
That definitely makes a difference on the score here. We are now at 30-20 in favor of the Ravenclaws here.
Now, it was, if you noticed that, it was specifically because of CompuGamer being able to get that kickoff, which completely disables Tux from being able to use his boost for seconds, and those seconds really counted in that final race.
Absolutely. We do see the Slytherins currently leading the snitch race, but I apologize. Ravenclaw's leading the snitch race and also put a goal through here, making it 40-20. So we've got a slight lead on the the Ravenclaw score and snitch meter. The number it's green on this perspective I'm looking at. I keep thinking it's Slytherins.
That's how my game is. When I play, it's green and purple,
Oh
or
yeah.
green and pink for me. But I go ahead.
I was just gonna say, beaters are going after each other right now. That was a hit from Flyrish on Jim Tones. Let's flip over to Flyrish here. You can see they are having quite a dogfight right now in the air there, trying to take each other out and make a difference on this snitch race.
Just like old Ben and Darth Vader having their final fight. Who's gonna
There you
win?
go. T going for a shot there and makes it through. T Dream scoring again for the Ravenclaws. That ensures the snitch difference there. So if they can maintain this 30-point difference, they will at the very least tie them, even if Slytherin catches the snitch. So very important for them to maintain that lead. And Slytherin, even more important for them to catch that snitch, which is why you see Flyrish going crazy on T Rabo right now. He is down less than half health. Flyrish trying to take him out of there.
Trying to get that out. I mean, it's great that Slytherin was scoring first, and if they could have kept that lead going to kind of not only knock Ravenclaw off their high horse, but also kind of cause a desync with how Ravenclaw was doing their play styles. But it seems like that first 20-point lead they had kind of knocked Ravenclaw's head back into the game and off Cloud 9 from their first win. And we do see that Prophecy is trying to go back to Slytherin winning with that goal, making it 30-50. Ravenclaw does not have that snitch difference anymore, and Slytherin is actually severely ahead on that snitch race.
Yes, and we do have the Slytherin Seeker's perspective. So let's go ahead and flip on over to Tux here as he closes in on catching that snitch. This snitch catch is huge because it will send them 10 points ahead of Ravenclaw. So if Ravenclaw scores no quaffle goals right now and Slytherin catches this snitch like they probably are about to, then Slytherin will take this lead. So Ravenclaw is going to need another quaffle goal here. Or
And
a great seeker kill on Tux, but he is staying nice and healthy. He's at full meter, ready to catch. He
oh
does
no,
get a
he
tackle,
did get hit
though.
though.
That
He is
drops his
down
meter
low.
down.
And he is
And
out.
Tux is
that is
out.
detrimental for the Slytherin side with Tux being
I'm going to
knocked
flip
out.
over to Flyrish now as the beater, as he is going to try to take out T. Robbo to make sure Ravenclaw doesn't make that catch. If T. Robbo catches this, it seals the deal for
They are
Ravenclaw. They will win
swarming
this
Tirabo, but he
game.
still does get it.
T.
80 to
Robbo
30
makes
with
that
30
catch.
seconds left.
Man, that will put this game in favor of Ravenclaw. 50 points is a lot to come back in 23 seconds with no snitches to catch. So unfortunately, not a chance for Slytherin to catch up here. We're going to flip on over to our Ravenclaw team. Let's get Jim
And
Tones, the
I
beater.
don't mean to cut you off as I touch my finger in my headphones, but we did just get an update that Hufflepuff and Gryffindor are playing, and currently it's Hufflepuff 1, Gryffindor 0. So Hufflepuff did win the first round against Gryffindor.
That is good to know. I am good to if we just take a short actually we should be able to get them up. Just give me a second and I'll start getting those perspectives pulled up here. We said it is Gryffindor and Hufflepuff.
It is correct. And I
Awesome.
will say kudos to Ravenclaw for that win against Slytherin. They really wanted to show that Slytherin's not going to win again against them. They weren't going to have it.
Definitely. On that note, any Ravenclaws or Slytherins that want to pop in here and talk for a second, you can come hang out with us even while we're streaming the next game. So definitely feel free to pop into that waiting room, and Hog, if you see anyone, feel free to drag them in here so we can chat. Otherwise, though, I am going to go ahead and get the Gryffindor and Hufflepuff team set up. Do we have those rosters, Hog? Do you know?
We do not yet. I don't believe we have an update from our journalists currently.
Alrighty, sounds good. Let's see here. There you go. There is a roster. If you can take a look at my screen there, that is the Hufflepuff team. If you want to let them know who is playing real quick.
Oh God, I cannot see that for the life of me. It's not you, it's
my
me.
apologies.
I'm blind.
No worries. I
Warbeard,
just
the
need to get
reporter, where's our lineups?
Hufflepuff and Gryffindor.
Warbeard, where's our lineups? You're the reporter here.
Hufflepuff. All right, we're gonna do that change.
But currently, while we're waiting on that, Hufflepuff is up 50-0 with possession of the quaffle, and they did score, making it 60-0.
All right.
Let's see
Yes.
if I can get.
So I can read those now. We do have the Chasers for Hufflepuff. We've got Tuo, we have Gert, and we have Lukey on Chaser for the Hufflepuff. Seeker is Rishi, Beater, Airy, and the keeper, the captain, I believe it's Zai or Zay. I apologize. I'm not sure how to pronounce that name 100% there.
Zayundi is their full name.
Perfect. And then for the Gryffindors, we actually only have one perspective, and they are currently not playing. So it does look like we are going to be just on the Hufflepuff side of things now. When we,
But Hufflepuff did end I believe, the second match with 100-0.
Well, there you go. That is, and I apologize. You said who won the first match?
Hufflepuff. It was 1-0. Hufflepuff won the first match, and now Hufflepuff just kicked Gryffindor out, saying, "We're not having this." You know, like they said in the last tournament, we're not a team that you can just overlook.
All right. Well, I'm glad we got to catch the very end
the
of that
very
match
snippet
there.
of it.
But I will say, Gryffindors, if you're listening to me, get me some perspectives. Get this link. I do have, I believe, Laggy.
We do have two
Gryffindor
people in the
beater.
waiting room that I will drag up here.
Fantastic. Who's coming in?
We got Jim Tones, so it's gonna take me a second to drag him up here. Give me a second, Jim. I have to like scroll up and drag them at the same time, so
Oh
it's a
my
little bit
gosh, that is so
difficult.
difficult. Two things
It
at
is,
once.
and it will not let me like drag him up here either. There we go.
There
I
he
got
is.
him.
Yeah.
And then
So
we got
I'm
Robo as well is gonna
Oh,
drag
perfect.
up
Yeah,
here.
that's Beater Seekers from Ravenclaw. So we've got Jim Tones, the beater from Ravenclaw, and then T. Rabo, the
Where did
Ravenclaw
Robo
Seeker.
go? Did Jerry drag him up here?
Oh, never mind. He went away. He didn't want to talk to us.
He disappeared. He
Um,
went to the Shadow Realm. Well, it's like they put the waiting room all the way down at the bottom. It's kind of hard for me to drag up here because it doesn't scroll with it.
got you. All right. Well, Jim is in here. What's up, Jim?
Just tired as hell.
Yeah, I feel that. All right, so that game, Ravenclaw, we just saw your team there. You were playing as the beater. How did that game feel for you?
Game felt solid. We're just out here raving and clawing and just doing our shit. Felt pretty standard.
Awesome. All right, give me some highlights. Give me some. What was the highlight for you from that game? What was the best moment?
Oh man, it had to be. I mean, that very last snitch catch. I was summoning Bludger. Tux burned a dodge and put himself flat on the ground. I was low. There was just no getting out of it without a dodge at that point. And
Yeah.
obviously that's highlight of the game right there. It's make or break for us. Whoever catches that snitch wins.
That is very true.
Absolutely.
And as a Ravenclaw myself, I can't agree with the Raven and Claw and
We do be
wanting
Ravenclaw.
that vengeance against Slytherin for that first tournament loss that you guys had was a very high morale boost, especially for me seeing that.
Hell yeah. I wasn't around for the first one.
Hey, no, I slid Papa John's pizza, so I win.
See, the thing is, Dementor, as soon as that bludger is in my hands, it's
Mm.
you can't turn it off.
No, you can't.
Yeah. It's there.
It's
The
too much.
bloodlust returns. It speaks to me. The bludger tells me who and where.
Okay, I'm gonna drag Robo up here eventually.
Is he ready to?
He's down here again.
Is it Robo or Rabo? How do we say it? How do I, Jim?
I
help me.
say Trobo, so I am not the person to ask.
Oh no! All right, Trobo. Here, let me see if I can drag him. There you go. Dragged him for you, Hog.
How
Oh,
the
he
hell do
disappeared
you?
again.
Yeah, I told you.
Oh, interesting. I don't know. All right. Well, Jim, while we still have you,
Jim tolerated it. He like waited for it. He
yeah,
tolerated me and my problem, and
I definitely just did a drag and it did not work, unfortunately. But Jim, these next, obviously, you are going to be playing against the other two houses as well. Based on their rosters, do you have any thoughts? Is there anyone that you're specifically excited for, nervous for, anything like that?
Honestly, I think the most excitement I have is probably going to be the Hufflepuff team. They got a really interesting lineup.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, we did just see Hufflepuff take on the Gryffindor team. Obviously, they are the reigning champions from last tournament. And Hufflepuff took them out with a 2-0 win. We didn't see the first game, unfortunately, so I'm not sure the score, but that second game, oh, yeah, I think it was 100-0.
it was under 0, correct?
Yeah, so clearly Hufflepuff put in some work against the champions there. So I think you're right. That Hufflepuff may be the ones to keep an eye out for this tournament.
I mean, what I
I've
can.
also, gotten to play Slytherin now. We scrimmed with Gryffindor before the game, so Hufflepuff's also the only one I haven't gotten to feel out yet.
I'll say what I can see from what they have as a team in whole is, they have Mad Love, they have Scourge, they have Lukey, they have Airy, Katie, Tunella, Jovel. Some of these names I am horrible at pronouncing. Zayundi, like GearNet.
Yeah, it's
Is
just
it
Gert,
lists
I
here?
believe.
That's why I don't pronounce those. I just let someone else butcher it, and then I get
Who are you?
corrected.
Sorry, who are we looking at? You want help? Which team are we looking at?
I was looking
Hufflepuff?
at Hufflepuff's whole lineup.
Yeah, so Zai and Ari, who we saw. Katie, I don't believe we did see play this last game. 2-0, we did see there. Scourge, I don't believe we saw yet. Scourge, oftentimes keeper there or chaser. Rishi, we did see play, or Lyseer. Jolva, we did not see as well. Jolva is one of the more renowned seekers as well, so we could see Jolva step into the seeker role at some point if they're around. Mad Love didn't see. And then, yeah, Lukey and Gert, the last two that round out that Hufflepuff lineup there.
So I did just get an update from our reporters. The next match will be Ravenclaw versus Hufflepuff.
Awesome. All right, so we are going to do Ravenclaw versus Hufflepuff, the game that Jim was just talking about there. So we're going to get you guys all set up then to do your Hufflepuff game. Gryffindor and Slytherin will be playing, but it is going to be off stream right now. They're going to happen at the same time. So we'll have an update for you on the Gryffindor versus Slytherin match, but we won't
I
be
will wonder
broadcasting that.
if Robo's going to be playing. Yep, Robo just left again. I was going to try and drag him up here again, but he abandoned me.
Yeah.
I just
I
saw
can
him
tell
down
you
the
right
waiting room
now.
again. He ran
I can tell
away.
you right now, highlight of this game is going to be 2 chasers and a beater on my ass the whole time.
Yeah.
If I
I'm
know
gonna
Katie
say-
and Ari, they're gonna put their chasers on me.
I'm
gonna
say
go
a
down probably
highlight of the
twice.
game is when Ravenclaw beats.
Sounds good, Jim.
When Ravenclaw beats Hufflepuff, that'll be my highlight.
There we go. All right, well, let me go make it happen. I'll see y'all.
Thanks, Jim. Feel
You
free
have
to pop
fun.
back when you're done.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
I'm not biased. I just know my house. As
I did wear them in
place
the
a-
maroon, and I did do my Gryffindor coffee cup this morning. So
As I
little
place a
biased,
bet
so.
in the Twitch chat for
Oh, hold on. I think
1,500
we are.
points.
Are we live? No, we're not live. All right, they are finding
No.
games, so we are getting ready to get into that Ravenclaw versus Hufflepuff match at the moment. No, I lied. They're not finding game. My apologies.
Now,
They are
respectfully,
getting ready though.
I will state this.
Respectfully.
I'm not biased. I'm definitely not placing all my channel points on Ravenclaw's side. No, I'm kidding. I'm not biased. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm
Mhm.
innocent.
I need to switch our teams here too. Hold on, I'm showing the wrong thing. I don't even think we're.
No, I placed on the wrong side. I was bamboozled. I accidentally bet on Hufflepuff by accident.
Oh man.
I was bamboozled.
Also, looking at the chat is your job, by the way. I have too many windows, so you have to look and see if.
I
there's
have
any
2
windows.
monitors, so that's why I can look at chat.
I have a really big
I'm-
monitor.
Well, you know what? I have 2 32-inch monitors, and one of them I won from my work. So,
Well, size doesn't matter, is what I've been told. So... Never mind, we're not going there. PG, welcome everybody to the PG
Alright.
broadcast of Black Lake Quidditch.
I'm gonna give a 30-second. I'm gonna give a 30-second timer for myself. I want
What's the
everyone in
30
the chat.
seconds?
The 30 seconds is gonna be. I'm gonna roll a d20. 1 through 10, Hufflepuff's gonna win.
Okay.
11 through 20, Ravenclaw's gonna win.
Okay.
I want the chat to pick their numbers.
Pick the number.
Put low or high in chat.
Gotcha. Okay, B is going for a 4.
Yeah, CB's going for that 4. Low or high. We got Life Size Midget going for an 8, so it's both low numbers.
Okay.
Let's see what the magical D20 that has a frog inside of it has to say. The chocolate frog of destiny. You know, in my world of D&D,
What'd you get, Hug?
you can either roll a nat 20 or a nat 1, and my dice have been prone to roll one of those two. And it rolled a nat 20.
Dang. Well, I will say Hufflepuff. Rishi, the Seeker, was that the was it Hufflepuff? Was it a high one?
Hufflepuff was the low.
Oh, interesting. Well, Rishi, the Hufflepuff Seeker, did get the first sight of the snitch, so that 5% lead currently going to Rishi and the Hufflepuffs. Chaser game, we do see Ravenclaw is currently in possession of that right now. Let's take a looky here. I think I have yeah, I've got beater perspective here for Ravenclaw, so we'll flip on over to Jim Tones as the beater.
Good old Jim Tones. We did just have a talk with him. It's gonna
Yes,
be
he was.
interesting how both these teams, who have that high from coming off their wins against Gryffindor and Slytherin, to see how these two winning teams will actually uh, play. If they're gonna play with that same mindset, like this is just a game. But
For sure.
respectfully, 26, because I'm not gonna butcher the name, did just score, make it 10-0 for Ravenclaw's side.
Yeah, Ravenclaw now in the lead, 10-0 against Hufflepuff here. Skipper, we see playing keeper for the Ravenclaws, currently out. Not sure exactly what happened there, but he was out of
He went out.
commission.
He went out to chase the Seeker, and
Gotcha.
your information was wrong. I told you Skipper was gonna be here today.
I know. Well, my information was from Skipper,
My
so.
prized keeper will always play.
All right, we are good with the beaters. Let's flip on over. Let's see if we've got some chaser
We do
action
see a
going on
Seeker race
here.
though, and Hufflepuff is severely in that lead. But we did see, just like we saw in Ravenclaw and Slytherin, that lead can almost mean nothing if the Hufflepuff Seeker cannot play it safe.
Absolutely. And I will there we go. We saw 2-0 put one through for the Hufflepuffs, tying it up. I'm going to flip on over to Rishi now. Rishi is chasing. We've got a little bit. I'm going to double check here. Make sure we're
Life
good. I
Size is
might
telling
have
me to
to
call 26 Baby Oda. Okay, that's what I'll call them. So now we know if 26 scores a goal, we call them Baby Oda.
There you go. All right, we are a little bit of a jagged perspective here, so I won't stay on Rishi too long, but we are about to see a snitch catch, so I'm going to hang here. We've got a full meter, and there's
And
the
did
catch
catch
from Rishi.
Rishi?
Alright.
What?
Let's
How do you know
go
the name's
ahead.
Rishi?
How'd what?
How do you know the name's Rishi?
Because I looked at the little chart that we sent out to everybody asking what they wanted to be called, and then I'm calling them what they
No
put on there.
one told me about the chart. How dare you guys? I just
We
get
do
thrown
see
in here.
Lukey took a fall there. Lukey Chaser for the Hufflepuffs. I'm gonna switch over here as he spawns back in. Lukey there. We watched
We do have
Otarina put
Baby
one
Oda. No,
through.
it's
Sorry,
no,
Baby Yoda.
Beta
My
Baby
apologies.
Oda.
Put one through there. That puts it at 40-20 in favor of the Hufflepuffs. Hufflepuffs are leading by 20 points. We've got 3 minutes and 16 seconds left. Lukey has the quaffle, passes it over to Katie, and there's a pass back to Lukey, who puts it through with a one-timer. Lukey making it a 50-20 score now in
That was a
favor of the
beautiful shot.
Hufflepuffs.
And we do know
Absolutely.
that Skipper's kind of, I guess, weak suit is actually those one-timer setups. And since he cannot or didn't really seem like the Ravenclaw Seekers had that chaser for defense, so they could not prevent that outlet from happening.
Yeah, we did just see a stop there, though, from Skipper as they were trying to put one through on the Ravenclaws, unable to, but Jim Tones takes out Lukey. Lukey falling for the chasers. Let's switch on back to Jim Tones here, see what he's up to as the beater. He is chasing down the Seeker Rishi right now. We also see that Baby Oda, my apologies, has also fallen for Ravenclaw. We're seeing a lot of aggressive beater action here from Airy and from Jim. Speaking of, let's go ahead. Let's take a look at Airy as well right now. Airy, the Hufflepuff beater, chasing down the Seeker, getting hit by Jim Tones there. We've got some beater on beater action, but also going after their respective Seekers. I think it's important to note for the score as well, 50 to 20, a 30-point difference is a snitch of a difference, meaning that if the snitch is caught by the Ravenclaw team, they will tie it up 50 to 50. So they are really going to try and capitalize on that snitch, because if Hufflepuff takes that, they will be ahead by 60 points, which is much, much more difficult to come back from.
It is very true, and it's a double-edged sword because Ravenclaw can catch it, they catch up. Hufflepuff catches it, then it's nail in the coffin for the match. But we did just see Hufflepuff score, making it 60-20. Dingy did just get knocked out. I did just see that. Where he got hit, one of the two. I think he got hit. But we do
Gosh,
see
I
a
apologize,
snitch
I
race.
did not
It's very
see it.
close. No, you're good, because I'm like reading it, and I'm like, hold on, it says either eliminate or knock or hit, one of the two.
We're going to pop back to
Oh.
Rishi here. Rishi, man, that is a tough feed to watch. So actually, we're going to switch over to Jim Tones, the beater.
Dingy did catch
there
it.
we go.
We switch over at the perfect time. Dingy did make that catch, and that main thing was because it ended up in Ravenclaw's court for the snitch. And Skipper is very strong with hitting the Seeker. So, you had Hufflepuff trying to stay away so they didn't get hit, but it gave just enough time for Dingy actually to make that catch.
And we are watching Lukey here approach the goal, going for a shot, does not make it. Unfortunately, Skipper able to block that there. It is in possession of the Ravenclaw team, but they are on them. And it goes back to the Hufflepuffs. Lukey passing
They
it
are
on
close
up there to 2-0.
I think this first match is going to end with Hufflepuff's victory as we see it right now.
We do. That is I'm not going to lie. I did not even see how close to the end of the match we were there. That was a really tight end there. Hufflepuff taking the lead by just 10 points. Skipper was guarding the hoops, able to stop it from going further, but they really needed a score on the side of Ravenclaw to be able to take that match. So that does put Hufflepuff currently in the lead for this series, 1-0 after game 1, but only by 10 points. So I bet we can expect to see another tight race in the next match as well.
I mean, it is interesting because we do see that Ravenclaw did do that switch out for their keeper specifically because they know how strong that Hufflepuff's chaser game is. But they did switch out for Skipper, and Skipper, I don't believe, has been playing much lately. So he's kind of getting that rust off to try and get back into it.
Definitely. Now, let me see here. I'm going to try and make sure we've got our best going out here. I know we've got some choppy perspectives, so I do apologize for that. Doing the best we can to keep that as good as we can at the moment. But yeah, we will see a game 2 here for Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw. And then
This does get me itching to make me wish I was in the tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't that have been interesting? A commentator playing and commenting at the same time. How would that work out?
Not very well, I would assume, honestly.
It'd work out perfectly. You want to know why? Because I can
Why is
separate
that?
business from pleasure.
There you go.
I get pleasure in causing chaos in Quidditch. A lot of people who verse me know this.
Fair.
I get too much fun out of it. A lot of teams know me for that.
Absolutely, that's how I know you. When we joined the team, you were the chaos.
I was the chaos, and this chaos always brought fun in the end.
All right, so as we go into this Hufflepuff versus Ravenclaw, we don't have anybody in a waiting room right now to pop.
We do not. I just checked.
All right, perfect. So let's chat about that game there. Obviously, a very close match there between the two. Any thoughts overall on the overall gameplay?
It was pretty close, but with Hufflepuff actually getting the start out lead, really caused a little bit of dysfunction between Ravenclaw's chaser game, and we also had Ravenclaw not having that one chaser back for defense when Hufflepuff was going for those one-timers. Really caused a lot of kind of stress for Skipper as the keeper, because as any keeper knows, or any keeper at all, those one-timers cause way too much stress because they can pass it for the one-timer, But that one timer could also be a psych out, and the one who has the quaffle goes for the goal. So if you don't have that back chaser to cause that disruption for the outlet, then you're not going to be able to really defend against it. And we did see the strong, and I will say a strong game play style from the Hufflepuff Seeker. And I wonder if they will continue with that strong progression they've had this in the first match, carry on in the second one.
Definitely here. All right, we are actually getting into the Hufflepuff versus Ravenclaw game right now. Lukey is in possession of the quaffle for the Hufflepuff team, heading to the Ravenclaw post, unable to get it past Skipper, the keeper. Skipper sends it on back out to his team. Ravenclaw in possession of the quaffle, heading on down towards the Hufflepuff posts at this point. There's some hesitation there. Teddy hanging onto the ball, probably looking for an outlet or a shot. Either way, it doesn't go through, though. Scourge able to make the save and get it on out to his team. However, Baby Oda coming on in for Ravenclaw with the quaffle, heading down towards the post now.
Now it's interesting because we do have a solid tactic for Hufflepuff,
One
which
that
was
did
one of them was
not pay
sitting
off,
inside the ring.
though.
It didn't.
Otarina still able to score there, even with some hoops sitting there. That puts Ravenclaw at 10-0 against
And
Hufflepuff.
I will respectfully state that a keeper's way of saying it without actually speaking it is kind of kicking the broom at the chaser sitting inside the ring, trying to tell them, get away, just trust me. But with that
Definitely here.
distraction, it caused an opening for Baby Oda to actually make that goal.
Absolutely. Ravenclaw still in possession of that quaffle at the Hufflepuff post. Teddy Ready passes it over to Baby Oda or Otarina and puts it on through the hoop there. 20 points for Ravenclaw now to the 0 for Hufflepuff.
You do know I'm going to catch some flack for listening to Life Size about calling her Baby Oda.
Yeah, definitely. I kind of jumped on that train and then realized that it's not something that someone asked me to call them. So my B, Otarina, I apologize. You can DM me personally and let me know what you want to be called. 26, Otarina, Baby Oda, Otarina maybe. I don't know. You let me know.
Otarina, that's pushing a little bit.
Lukey tackles it from 26 there, and the stop does happen though from our Ravenclaw side again. Now in possession of the quaffle is the Ravenclaw team. Scourge, though, I apologize, I said Ravenclaw. Scourge, the Hufflepuff keeper, makes another save, gets it on out to Katie, but Otarina takes it straight out of Katie's hands and is heading right on back towards the Hufflepuff goals, where
They
Teddy
did
Ready
pass it to
puts
Tay
one through
Ready
for
for that.
Ravenclaw.
That was a very solid play. They did do, low to the ground one-timer setup. And that is a really big weakness for keepers because they do not have that low down field of view. Unless they actually use
I
that
did just switch
lock-on
us.
cam, they don't have that.
Yeah, I did just switch us to Jim Tones again as that snitch race is closing in. He's going to have to make a move on Rishi there, the Hufflepuff Seeker, but the race is close. Rishi able to pull out that catch, which officially ties up the game. So Hufflepuff now pulls ahead, pulls forward with 30 points, tying up the game. We are basically at 0, just about exactly halfway through the game. So at the 340 mark, we are starting back over as far as point difference, as it is a tie game right now.
Now, Rishi is a solid seeker as well. Rishi has
100%.
proven that, but they did just get knocked out as I say this.
They did, yes. Rishi does take a fall. You jinxed him there.
I'm sorry. Hufflepuffs, you can curse me in the chat all you want. The Nat 20 is going to come through. I'm calling it. But Rishi is a solid seeker regardless. Like, they will, even though they got knocked out, they will come back from that. I have no doubt.
Absolutely. I am going to get us a switch over here. Let's pop over to Airy, who is the beater for Hufflepuff here. Since we've got that tie quaffle game, let's see, is Airy going for some seeker, beater, or chaser action? Looks like beater targeting Jim Tones, trying to do some damage to their team, but it does not look like it worked out. Airy, in fact, took a little bit of a hit from that one.
No, it was interesting because, Aerie has always been one of those beaters that a lot of Seekers are terrified to verse because of how good she plays.
Mhm.
But but her actually trying to knock out Jim Tones shows that she views Jim Tones as a threat, and she doesn't view many as threats.
Definitely. And Quaffle Game currently is in possession of the Ravenclaw team there. Um, Still a 30-30 though. Score a minute and a half has passed and not a single point has gone on the board. That is a testament to all the players because I promise goals are not going through, not because of a lack of skill, but because there is so much skill on this pitch from defensive and offensive perspectives that they are holding strong. We saw it was only a 10-point difference last game, and now there is literally no point difference. Snitch race is pretty close. I'd say a little in favor of our Ravenclaw team. But as we've seen, Seekers can get knocked out, and that will affect the meter. Even just a bump will bump that meter down as well.
But I did say that Hufflepuff would come back on Snitch Race, and they are. Even though they're a little bit behind, they have caught up severely.
They are
Where
making it
most
there. Let's see
where
if we can
most
get a
snitch
little bit.
with most Seeker races, you wouldn't be able to come back from being knocked out once. But it does appear
Yeah,
that they, if I'm not mistaken, they did lose a little bit of that meter,
I'm gonna
causing a
hop
bigger
off of
gap in the
Rishi there
Snitch race.
again. We're gonna hop off of Rishi's perspective there. My
Cool.
apologies.
Ravenclaw did
Um,
just make a goal though, making it 40-30. And they are in lead of the Snitch, which is very interesting. Seeing how they played in the first game versus this game, it almost seems like Ravenclaw kind of didn't view Hufflepuff as much of a threat until they saw how strong the Hufflepuff was coming out swinging.
We did just see Jim Tones try to go on a tackle to take out the Seeker because the Snitch race is neck and neck right now. Anyone can catch, and Denji does it. Denji makes the catch, putting Ravenclaw ahead, putting us to a 70-30 with only 23 seconds left. That is not enough for Hufflepuff to come back. That does mean that this win is going to go to Ravenclaw. That was a huge catch on Denji's end. If the Hufflepuffs had caught that, this would be a very different outcome as far as the end result. It all came down to that Snitch and Scourge getting a kill on Jim Tones. Almost made a huge difference there as he took out that beater pressure. However, Denji was still able to make that catch over the Hufflepuffs to make that a win for Ravenclaw.
That was true, and when he was getting close to catching it, if you didn't notice, Jim Tones did actually get knocked out by Scourge. So he had no
Yeah,
kind of defense or no kind of backup with the beater being knocked out, and he still was able to push through that and push through the swarm that he was in to secure making it a 1-1 match against Hufflepuff. This is going to be going to a game 3, which is going to be interesting because not only did they just get a morale boost from that win, but they also kind of knocked Hufflepuff into that kind of wrench in the cog kind of feeling because they went on 3-game win streak, 2 games against Gryffindor, winning that bracket. They win the first game against Ravenclaw, but then all of a sudden they lose one, which can really cause a big disruption in the confidence of the players and how they play.
oh, 100%. I think I've said it every stream I've been on, and I will say it on this one. Momentum is so big in any game, in any sports or board game, anything. You've got that momentum, that win. You feel good, and you are going to ride that out. And that is exactly what will often happen in Quidditch. We will see the team who won the first game just kind of plow through, feel great. A lot of times, what we see is the second game winners will win this third game because they've got the momentum now. Like you said, it's a little stagnant for the team that won the first game because they were feeling good and then not able to capitalize on that win. I think one thing that's probably really in effect here, though, is that both games have been super close. Score wise, in the first game, it was a 10-point difference. And while it was a bigger score difference in the second game, it came down to a snitch, and they were both there. I'm pretty sure both Seekers had 100%. It was just a matter of who was going to catch it. Both beaters were there. You saw the keepers, like you said, Scourge knocking out Jim Tones. Everybody was involved in that final catch, and that's what decided it. So while it was a bigger point difference, it is definitely just as close as the first one, if not closer. All right, we do have Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff going into looks like their
They
their third
are going to be
match.
going to a. Yep. They're
Alright,
they
perfect.
are queued. They are waiting for it looks like Ravenclaw's queued, but Hufflepuff isn't. So I believe that they are getting ready to set up for this third game. I will say, and I'm gonna get close to the microphone for this one. If the caster curse is real, I will be casting it on everyone. I have said my piece.
What do you
The
roll?
anime man has spoken. Remember,
Um,
everyone, the anime man is in your walls.
Ew. No, thank you.
And remember, because we're not going to a break, Daddy Hog is always watching.
I'm over it. You're fired after this one.
No,
All right,
no,
we
you
are
can't
getting
fire
into
me.
the match.
You can't fire the anime man.
Too late. All right, we are going into the match right now. The teams are warming up. You are looking at Jim Tone's perspective there. Again, I do apologize for the choppy video quality on this stream. It's probably something to do with my internet or something along those lines. So we'll get better and better as these go, of course. But yeah, as the teams line up here, we are taking a look at Jim Tone's, the beater for Ravenclaw. As that heads up into the air, he is going straight for a seeker hit there. I'm going to transition us though to the Hufflepuff Chasers as they are the ones in possession of the Quaffle. I apologize.
Now,
Harry is playing
while
beater
we are
of this
mid
one.
match, really quick, what is
Yeah.
your take on how Hufflepuff should actually play this game? Because it is going to be the final determining game. What's your take on how Hufflepuff should come back to overcome what Ravenclaw with
Yeah.
a win or with a loss against Ravenclaw?
Well, that's a good start. What just happened? So Gert put put a goal through, making Hufflepuff lead by 10 here now.
You gotta love Gert
Um,
with the goals.
Absolutely. Teddy Reddy currently in possession for the Ravenclaw team, though. To answer your question, though, I think the biggest thing is getting those points on the board, which I know sounds like a really silly answer, but it just shows that every single goal matters, but most importantly, every snitch catch matters. So right now, Ravenclaw is very much in the lead of the snitch. Hufflepuff, if I were them, I would start going after that seeker and making sure they don't maintain that lead because we saw that the snitch catch is easily a deciding factor between these two teams. And you can see Aerie is putting the pressure on Denji there as the seeker for Ravenclaw because Aerie, the Hufflepuff beater, does not want to see Denji make another catch this game.
That is very true. And, we see how strong Aries playing, and she did, I believe, just hit or knock out Denji. She did knock out Denji. So it does kind of tie up or get close to tying up that snitch race on both sides. And it almost seems kind of Ravenclaw is still floating on that cloud nine. They really need that reality check that this isn't a time for just floating. They need to play.
Yeah.
And Jim Tones is getting hit a lot more versus the second and first game, which almost seems like either they're getting worn down. Jim Tones did just get knocked out by Airy. It seems like they're getting worn down from actually having a very strong competitor.
Yeah. And I will say we only have the beater perspectives for this match. So Airyberry and Jim Tones the beaters. I do have Rishi the seeker, but we're having issues with the choppiness there. So this is going to be a beater only perspective match. It's been an interesting one so far. Like you said, we saw Airy take out Jim Tones entirely. We see Aries at half health right now. I'm sure I
Denji
didn't
did
see
just
it,
get
but
stunned, which is going to allow Hufflepuff to easily be able to get that snitch, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, Hufflepuff there is edging in real close. Rishi's going to want to capitalize on that here. Denji's super low health. Airy throws another bludger, but
Rishi did
Rishi
make it.
does catch it. 40-0 in favor of the Hufflepuffs here. It looks like they did take that seriously, and they knew that this is game 3. Everything needs to be put on the line here, and they are not holding back on these Ravenclaws.
That is very true. I mean, with that 40-0 lead, that really causes a whole entire disruption for the Ravenclaw plays Quaffle, Seeker, and Keeper wise. I mean,
Yeah,
Jim
and
Tones, getting knocked out really caused a problem. I mean, he was getting hit in the beginning, which caused him, that stun to where he couldn't summon his Bludger. And they really
Yeah.
need to kind of get in gear. Otherwise, Rishi did get hit by Jim Tones, so it appears that
Yeah.
Area Barrier kind of knocked off Jim Tones' Cloud9 feeling.
Definitely. Denji's sitting at half health right now. But Rishi is also, I'm sorry, that is Rishi sitting at about half health now, and Denji also now at half health. So we do see a lot of action from both Airy and Jim Tones on each other, but on Seekers as well. Jim
Airy did
Tones
just
just
get
got
hit
another hit
too.
on Airy. Aries at half health now. Jim's is going for that final kill, trying to get it. Takes a swing and a miss, throwing a bludger, but it does not lock on, so he is not able to get that kill on Airy right here. Snitch race is pretty close here currently.
Just currently, actually, Ravenclaw is in possession of Quaffle moving down the field as well, but Hufflepuff did get it back. Because I know we're focusing kind of more on Beater and Seeker, but just a little chime in of how the Chaser game's going as well, because, just as important as Seekers are, the Chasers are also just as important because, that single goal, or if they can make 4 goals in that time, Airy Barry did get knocked out there. But if they can make those, 4, 3, or even 1 goal to actually give them that insurance, and if they can catch the snitch, every roll is important. They all
It
work
is.
together well.
I will say in this game, that was interesting. We saw Jim Tones almost take out the keeper there, which could have really helped for the Ravenclaw Quaffle score. I think we have seen pretty clearly that this is an evenly matched chaser keeper lineup. We have not seen many Quaffle goals going through, and if we do, it's a pretty equal amount. So the snitch race is really what this match has come down to. Ravenclaw versus Hufflepuff. It has been that seeker beater matchup, but also their chaser pressure, because if you remember, we've definitely seen both teams pulling some chasers off to help with that seeker game. Speaking of, we are ending. We are edging in on the end of this snitch race. I'm going to switch over to Airy Berry. Hufflepuffs are in lead for this snitch. They are trying to make sure they make the catch. Airy trying to protect Rishi to make sure Rishi can get the
I don't
golden
think Rishi's going
snitch.
to need it. Rishi has almost a whole entire open field just to themselves.
Definitely Denji trailing behind there and at half health. Denji is trying to hang in this. Both Seekers are at 100. Rishi has been there for a while and not made the catch. So Denji is trying to get on up there to get it, but Denji had to swerve off to avoid the keeper, it looked
Rishi
like,
did
and
make that
Rishi
catch too.
catches.
I will say, just with 40 seconds left, Hufflepuff did make that win. They almost
100%.
if in the next 40 seconds, if Ravenclaw doesn't even make 1 goal, that's just a full-on shutout game right there.
Absolutely. Rishi and there's Gert putting another one through, putting Hufflepuffs
They're just putting
just a
that
little
nail
bit
in the
further
coffin.
ahead. Absolutely. I really think this game came down to seeker beater battle. We had a really great, strong chaser lineup on both sides. Obviously, we do see that Hufflepuff has pulled forward a little bit, I think, in total Quaffle goals, but it has been close with strong keepers and chasers on both teams. It came down to that 30 points from the snitch, and Hufflepuffs capitalized on 60 points just from the snitch this game with a double snitch catch there from Rishi, as you see.
It really did seem like Ravenclaw slipped after that 1 win against Hufflepuff. They really let that kind of go to their heads, as we saw in that 3rd game of them, Dingy getting knocked out, which allowed that first snitch catch, and almost giving Rishi just free roam on the field to catch the snitch. No chaser trying to get after Rishi. Try to cause a little bit of disruption, it's not a lot of damage, still a little bit of disruption to stop that boost, and nothing was really there on the Ravenclaw side kind of preventing that.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. So that does make excuse me, Hufflepuffs, the winners of the series versus Ravenclaw. So currently, where does that put us with standings? I am asking partially for myself.
Currently, I can put it so I can tell you the standings currently.
Fantastic.
So let me just slide on over here. So currently, that puts Ravenclaw with 2 wins, Hufflepuff 2 wins, Slytherin and Gryffindor 0-0, because they both lost. So currently we
Gotcha.
have, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff at the top. I'm sorry, not 2 wins. Hufflepuff has 2 wins. Ravenclaw has 1-1, and I don't know how the Slytherin and Gryffindor games went.
Okay, so we need the Slytherin Gryffindor match to know. If anyone knows those results, feel free to throw it in the chat somewhere. I don't know if anyone is keeping up with that game. It does not look like it's still going on, so I cannot see that at the moment.
Oh boy, I earned 1 bit for making my emote gigantic in the chat.
Look at you.
Slytherin and Gryffindor. Slytherin won the game, best 2 out of 3. They won 2-0.
All right, sounds good.
So now we have Slytherin 1-1, Hufflepuff 2-0,
2-0, and Ravenclaw 1-1.
Gryffindor 0-2. So it looks like we are not going to have plot armor from Gryffindor this time.
Yeah, I think that does. I mean, Gryffindor still has another match going on, but even with winning that match, I don't believe they will be able to be in the top 2 teams unless we have like a 3-way.
Oh no, Gryffindor lost against Slytherin.
Yeah,
So this will be interesting how this round 3 will go. Because we have Gryffindor versus Ravenclaw in the round 3, and Slytherin versus Hufflepuff. So, from what you saw with Slytherin and Hufflepuff, because I know we didn't get through Gryffindor a lot, but what you saw with Slytherin and Hufflepuff, how do you believe that will actually turn out? I know you are partial to Gryffindor, but how do you think that will actually play out with Slytherin and Hufflepuff?
So you're saying Slytherin versus Hufflepuff?
Yes, that's going to be in round 3.
So let me pull up those rosters here so I make sure I'm talking about the right teams. All right, Slytherin. Yeah, we just saw Tux, Flyrish, and okay, perfect. And then Hufflepuff, we literally just saw. All right, so Rishi was the seeker for Hufflepuff. Slytherin, who do we have on seeker? We had Green Black Cat. So I don't believe Green Black made any snitch catches in that game that we saw, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know against Gryffindor though. I would assume there were some snitch catches there, seeing how the score was 100-0. So if Green Black was on seeker there, it could have been Tux as well. It's going to be a tough.
For the Ravenclaw and Slytherin, it was Green Black for the first one, Tux for the second match.
Oh, I mean for the Gryffindor one. I'm not sure.
For Gryffindor, it was Gryffindor and Hufflepuff. And I want to believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, chat, or if anyone knows on Gryffindor and the Hufflepuff side, I want to believe it was Black Rose, if I'm not mistaken. Because he is
that would make sense.
A seeker.
All right, we are getting into, what are we getting into? This is going to be, we've got Slytherin lined up and we've got Hufflepuff lined up. So we've got Hufflepuff and Slytherin, it looks like. Does that sound right?
Yes, I believe so.
Right.
That's what round 3 is Slytherin and Hufflepuff, if I'm not mistaken.
Go ahead and
hey,
update that.
There you go, buddy. I was just going to say, hey, buddy, you wanna?
I'm working on it.
You want to Slytherin your way over to fixing that?
All right, so we do see that Slytherin is currently in the lead with the snitch, so we must have had the first sight from Rishi there. It is Rishi versus Tux in this seeker battle. For the beater battle, we've got Airy versus Flyrish, and then chaser lineups for Slytherins, we have Prophecy, Cardi, and your boy Skinny, and then on the Hufflepuff chaser lineup, we have Tuo, Gert, and Katie. Last but not least, for the Slytherins, Shade is keeping, and for the Hufflepuff,
we do have Skinny. Your boy Skinny just did make a goal on Slytherin's side, so it's now 10-0 against Hufflepuff.
Perfect. And we've got a couple of perspectives here. Let's go ahead and, just for funsies, we'll switch over to Tux here on Seeker. So this is Slytherin Seeker right now that you see chasing after the snitch there. We also do have a beater perspective and a keeper perspective for Slytherin. I do not have any chasers, unfortunately. Um, and that is the same for Hufflepuff. So we are again looking at a beater battle with some keeper perspective thrown in here. So on that note, let's go ahead and get our keeper pulled up here. This is going to be Shade, the keeper for Slytherin currently that you are viewing there, setting out his play caller rings. I apologize. We saw another goal go through for Slytherin. I did not catch it. Did you see who put that through by chance?
I did not because I
Well,
was.
there's Cardi with another one. So Slytherin is now 3 goals ahead. So 30-0 in favor of the Slytherins right now. Again, that's a important number because the snitch is worth 30 points in this match. So Hufflepuff needs that snitch catch just to tie up this game. And Slytherin is going to be trying to prevent that. Speaking of, let's go ahead and hop over to the Slytherin beater, Flyrish, to see what he is up to. Obviously tracking down that Hufflepuff seeker as they are pulling ahead in this race right now. It is Rishi who is approaching the snitch catch there. Flyrish, the beater, is trying to stop it. I apologize again. Not a wonderful perspective there.
Yeah, your boy
Skinny
just
puts another goal through.
So even with they have even more than just snitch protection. They're ahead even with that snitch catch from Rishi.
And there it
Beautiful
is. Rishi
catch.
catches that snitch.
But we do need Hufflepuff to make a goal or some kind of score against Slytherin. Otherwise, that 10-point little difference will just be the dead of the game.
Absolutely. They are in possession of the quaffle now. Hufflepuff, it is in Gert's hands, heading towards the keeper, Shade. Let's take a look there. Gert is approaching Shade, doing some air acrobatics there, trying to hang on to that quaffle as the chasers approach in. There is a pass there, but unfortunately going off to the side there where Shade is able to kick it out of his end and send it to the middle of the field. Gertnet does get possession of the quaffle, though, again, and is heading straight back towards the keeper now with ball in hand. Unable to make a goal there, and Shade gets the quaffle in his hands, sending it right on out to your boy Skinny. Skinny heading down, hoping to make another goal there.
I mean, Skinny is a very strong chaser, and he's proving that in this game.
Clearly, as he puts another one through.
I mean, you do also see that on Slytherin's side, they are having that one chaser stay midfield to back to be that defense, to kind of cause more pressure for the attacking chaser on Hufflepuff's side, and it's proving to be very effective and detrimental because it's not giving them a lot of room to breathe.
Absolutely.
Cardi is in possession though, moving downfield, passing to I believe your boy Skinny with another goal as he gets knocked out.
Kamikaze
we
goal
see
there.
that beautiful little ragdoll.
Awesome. Let's get us. We're gonna pop on over to Airy again. The beater going after Tux. So Hufflepuff beater Airy trying to take down the Slytherin seeker Tux at the moment. Tux is at half health. This would be the time to try and take him out, but he may be regenning here.
Tunella did just make a goal, making it 40-60. So they really need to stay strong on that defense on chaser game. For their keeper, for Hufflepuff's keeper, they really need to stay strong on kind of how Skinny plays. And they do need that snitch catch.
Definitely.
Chaser-wise, they do need to make either a goal or have one back for that defense because you're giving way too much breathing room for Skinny, as is just proven right there with another goal. Because you give too much breathing room to one chaser, they have too much time to decide how they're going to do it. They don't have to panic and be like, okay, I need to make the shot now.
Absolutely. We did just see a death there, I believe, from somebody.
That was a stun.
Oh, stun. My apologies.
Airy stunned Cardi.
And 2-0 puts another goal through. So we are now at 70-50 in favor of the Slytherins. Slytherins are in the lead with their snitch as well. Let's pop over to the Slytherin beater to see what he's doing, trying to protect. This is Flyrish, trying to make sure that Tux, his seeker, does make the catch here for Slytherin as they are currently in the lead. You see Airy Berry right there behind them, though, trying to prevent the catch from happening. Let's pop over to Airy for a second
Again, he
here.
did just give that protection, that snake protection, though. He did just score again, making it 80-50 with the
Did.
last,
I'm gonna make a
35 seconds.
switch here to Tux now, the
Oh, it is
seeker.
getting way too close. I mean,
Seeker closing in on
Tuck's
that
getting
catch.
ready to catch both of them. Ooh, that
Bludger's coming, but Rishi makes the
Rishi
catch.
making that clutch
Look at that score
catch
right
to
now.
tie it up.
All right,
But
we're
the
going to the
problem is
keeper.
they need to have that defense against Skinny, because Skinny has
do.
proven so much this game.
Cardi has the
that
ball though, and Cardi is the one
Cardi
who puts
does
the
it.
goal through, making it 90-80. Hufflepuff has 9 seconds to score a goal. It's pretty much impossible.
They
with
actually
the
only have
respawn.
5 seconds, and then they'd have to kick it out and be able to score it from almost half field, and there's no way for them to be able to do that, ending it
No.
with a 90-80 in Slytherin's favor. I will say that was such a close game at the end, but because they didn't have that defense, that protection to prevent, another goal and for the Slytherin side, it just made it easier for Cardi to be able to score that final goal they needed.
100%. And we see 2 of the chasers there in the top 3 for earning points, which is pretty big. A lot of the other roles, it's sometimes a little easier to get some points. You see a lot of seekers up there on the board, a lot of keepers. But clearly, Cardi and your boy Skinny did some major chaser work in that game to ensure the win for Slytherin there.
Respectfully, you want to talk about earning points? I just lost over 1,200 points because I bet for Hufflepuff to win that round.
Well, that was
I just lost
poor bet
1,200
on your
channel
end.
points. It was not a bad bet. Hufflepuff, I mean, they had the win against Gryffindor, the win against Ravenclaw, and it almost seemed like it wasn't until close to the end of the game that they actually got snapped back into reality.
Yeah,
And gravity
Slytherin definitely came in strong here. And we did miss the Slytherin Gryffindor game, so we didn't get a chance to really see how that played out there, to see much Slytherin action against them. But seeing this work put in against the Hufflepuffs, yeah, they are definitely doing their best to make sure they take this win. Slytherin had a great performance last tournament, and they really want to get that win this time as well. So this would be huge for them if they are able to take Hufflepuff. Hufflepuff has beat both of the other teams at this point. So this will be an important win if the Slytherins are able to take win 2 as well.
That is very true. And from your perspective, what do you think Hufflepuff kind of needs to change on their side, like playstyle wise, to actually be able to combat the powerhouses like Cardi and Skinny?
I think it's snitch game for them. I think the Hufflepuffs are a little outmatched on Chaser, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but Cardi and Skinny and Prophecy are 3 phenomenal
That's basically putting
chasers.
that's basically like putting 3 gods up against a Titan and expecting the Titan to win.
Yeah, it just ultimately, as much as the Hufflepuff chasers are great chasers as well, definitely not downplaying them in any
No.
way, shape, or form. But those Slytherin chasers are a force to be reckoned with. So I think they really need to put some focus on the snitch, which unfortunately right now for them, Slytherin is in the lead for snitch. So we did just see a stun though. Airy Berry was able to hit Tux. So Airy Berry, the Hufflepuff beater, did bring Tux, the Slytherin seeker, down a little bit in health. We also see the beater, Flyrish for Slytherin, is a little low in health right now. Rishi also at half. So beaters and seekers definitely taking some damage right now. Flyrish and Airy putting in the work, but Gert able to
Gert
put
with
a
the
goal
solid
through.
first start to the match.
Absolutely.
I mean, if they can keep up, like, I know they probably, when they were back in the lobby, probably did discuss a game plan against seeing what Slytherin has put out. And it's interesting that they were actually able to get past, Prophecy, Cardi, and your boy Skinny. Because they are both just as good as offensive chasers. They're just as good on defense.
Definitely. I'm going to switch our perspectives here again to get us a little closer to the action. As Shade is all the way in the Slytherin end. Hufflepuff, though, is in possession, so I lied. I'm going to switch back to Shade as Hufflepuff approaches with the Quaffle, trying to put a score in on him. It does not look like maybe a pass. I'm not sure. It went off to the side, unfortunately, but Slytherin did get the possession of that Quaffle again.
Yeah, that is true. And I'm kind of curious on how, because, with the snitch lead that Slytherin has, with the pressure that's always caused, and we do also see that Rishi did get knocked out, which
Yes, and
just
Cardi
basically
as
almost
well, one of the chasers.
solidified the Slytherin catch on Snitch unless they can knock out Tux. And I wonder how that will work out. We did see Mirror Thief go on because we see Hufflepuff's meter did just jump up, but it will be really interesting to see if they'll be able to come back from that huge setback. And your boy Skinny with another goal, making it 10-10, tying that game. But Slytherin almost to catching the snitch. It's going to
Yeah,
be
we're
a huge
gonna
problem.
actually flip on over to Tux's perspective now. He is the seeker for Slytherin. He is closing in on that snitch catch. Hufflepuff seeker, unfortunately, quite a bit behind. He has 100%, and there it is. Tux with the catch for Slytherin. That was a pretty distant snitch race, I would say. We usually see it a bit closer. So that is going to mean Hufflepuff now has to get that other snitch. Good news is it looks like Slytherin has pulled off some of their chaser resources for the snitch catch because we have seen a lot less on the Slytherin side for goals. And I spoke too soon as Skinny puts another one through there on Scourge. So now Slytherin is in the lead 50-10. Hufflepuff is going to need some Quaffle goals, but they're really going to need that snitch catch unless they come out of nowhere scoring these goals on Shade, because right now they only have that one goal on the board from Gert. So we're going to need to see more.
Truly we're seeing that, yeah, badgers have fangs, but they are getting trapped inside a snake's they are getting trapped inside a snake's coil.
And Cardi there just
that
widening
grip's
that
just
gap.
tightening more and more around the badger. It's
Absolutely. We are approaching the 3-minute mark, so a little over halfway. Slytherin at 60 points with Hufflepuff at 10. Hufflepuff, though, does have a slight lead on the snitch race, and that is because Tux was knocked out as seeker for Slytherin. So Hufflepuff's currently a bit in the lead with that snitch race. Let's pop on over to Airy, the beater for Hufflepuff there. Now, with that lead, though, it is closing in pretty quickly. Tux is making up the ground that is needed for that snitch race there. So we will see again another close snitch race. However, Hufflepuff is 50 points behind, so that snitch alone won't do it for them. They have to score as well, which
you do
Cardi
also
just
see
separated that
Airy
gap
was
by
trying to
another.
prevent that as well. Airy was trying to prevent that goal on Cardi, but could not make that defensive shot.
Yes, this does as we approach the 2-minute mark. 70 points to Slytherin, 10 to Hufflepuff. It is not looking great for the Badgers. They just are trying to make it down the field, but Slytherin is keeping that Quaffle in the other end. Hufflepuff's got to do some defense and get the Quaffle out of there, or Cardi, Skinny are just going to keep putting goals up. Right now, Skinny has the ball in his hands, does take a hit, keeps the Quaffle, but then eliminated by Airy. Airy is tired of Skinny's shenanigans and wants to take him out for a little while. On that note, we're going to flip on over to the Slytherins here, the keeper, as he is guarding the post there as Hufflepuff approaches with the Quaffle. They are going to go for a one-timer, but Shade is able to read it and catch that shot, passing it right on back to Skinny, who has come back from his death at this point. Hufflepuff, though, is in the lead with that snitch. Let's go ahead and do the
But Skinny
Slytherin
did just
beater.
make that goal, making it 80-10. I mean, in all honesty, close to this last minute of the game, Hufflepuff would have to make back-to-back goals just to be able to catch up. It almost seems like a one-sided fight, an uphill battle.
I do agree with you there. Unfortunately, Airyberry just took out Prophecy, one of the chasers there for the Slytherin team. Airyberry really trying to knock out the chasers, it seems, primarily because Tux is catching that snitch, making the Slytherins take the lead there. Slytherins 110 to 10. We do see Shade, the keeper, there taking that top spot there. Lots of great saves happening from Shade. We saw very few Hufflepuff goals go through. And again, not because lack of effort, not because lack of skill. It is just Shade is that good at keeping those goals blocked, apparently. So that does mean Slytherin beats Hufflepuffs. That is Hufflepuff's first loss of the day. So where does that put us? Do we know the Gryffindor Ravenclaw match? Is that going on?
Currently, I believe that is going on. So what it puts us at is Hufflepuff 2-1, 2 wins, 1 loss. Slytherin with, I believe, 2 wins and 1 loss, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So it puts Hufflepuff and Slytherin in the top 2 spots.
Gotcha. So we need to see the Ravenclaw. We need to know if Ravenclaw beats Gryffindor or not in order to also be a 2-1 score after this. That would be a 3-way tie between Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, and Slytherin if Ravenclaw takes this win. If Gryffindor takes the win against Ravenclaw, though, I believe that would make it a 2-1 for them, if I'm not, or sorry, a 1-2 for them.
For who?
For Ravenclaw, if they lose against Gryffindor.
If they lose against Gryffindor, yeah, it'd be a 1-2. If they win, it'd be a 2-1.
Perfect. So we actually need to know the results of that Gryffindor Ravenclaw game, or we can pop over.
I would
to
say you
happening.
could probably check the point of views to see if anyone's...
I don't have any right now, unfortunately.
Check Ravenclaws.
Let me see here. Room. Nobody.
Anyways,
in my
while we
room
have
is
some free
currently
time
playing.
while we're waiting, how's everyone's day going? Hope it's going good.
It's a nice Saturday. It's pouring rain here where I am, so
pouring rain where I'm here too. We did see, I mean, with that game with Hufflepuff and Slytherin, we did see that Slytherin just full on sunk the things into the Badger, wasn't letting go, and kind of slowly just poisoned until it was finished.
And it happened. I heard another dice roll there.
Yes. My dice roll is to see if Ravenclaw beats Gryffindor.
Fair. Yeah, no, we saw a very dominant game there from Slytherin. Mostly, again, the Chaser game was just on point. We saw a lot of quaffle points going on the board for Slytherins. And unfortunately, just too much power coming from Flyrish and Tux as the beater seeker duo in Slytherin. Hufflepuff's just not able to overcome that and get enough of the snitch points that they really desperately, unfortunately, needed for that match.
That is very true. And, you know, I wonder, because we do have a reporter on the Ravenclaw side, if I just happen to, you know, slip a little message, if our reporter can give us an update.
You are speaking in code to somebody that is not me, but that is fine because I have no idea.
I am speaking code because I refer to all of our reporters out there that are watching the games that we are not watching currently, we can't get perspectives on, to give us updates. And I roll my dice nervously because I don't know. It's been a nervous habit, especially with me being a DM. But currently, I am receiving a message from our reporter. I'm waiting for the full response to come in.
Mm-hmm.
Is game 2 of Ravenclaw versus Gryffindor, and Ravenclaw did win the first game.
All right, I
T
only
is
have
T is live or streaming it in Discord, but we don't have the perspective. How dare they?
Unfortunate.
It is unfortunate, and
I
will mail a strongly worded letter by Messenger Owl to T about how he did not give me perspective.
He was in here, so I am not sure.
T wasn't in here. We haven't had T in here. If anyone from the Slytherin or Hufflepuff team want to go in the waiting room, we can drag you up here for a personal interview. Sorry, I got too close to the microphone for that.
That was you were whispering in my ear, and I didn't hate it.
Exactly. No one ever hates when I whisper in their ear,
I don't know about that.
especially with my morning voice. So if you heard my morning voice,
all
my
right,
morning voice been compared to Corpse Husband. It's beautiful.
Are they going yet? My apologies, I'm not paying.
I can drag Zion here. I will.
Oh yeah, if someone's in the waiting room, bring them on in. I'm tired of talking.
No. Where's Zai at? You can drag him in too.
I know, but
This
I'm
isn't a one side. This isn't a one-sided perspective, sir. Oh, we got Shade and Tux. Do you want to help me drag them in here?
Absolutely. Hold, please, Hog. I shall assist.
Because mine won't scroll up when I'm dragging.
All right, let's bring him in.
Wait. Come on.
Shade and Tux. Here they are. Hello, Shade and Tux. We've got Tux here, who you just saw as the Seeker for the Slytherins, and Shade, who you saw as the Keeper for the Slytherins. How y'all doing?
Interesting.
I
It's
cannot
very interesting
hear
commentary.
I cannot hear you. It looks like we're trying to have them talk.
Can we not hear any of them? Hold on. Let me. Why can't we hear them? Is there a problem?
I don't know. We heard the other guests. Isn't this so fun for everybody watching? It's great.
You know what? That's why I have to say that. We can't hear either one of them, but I can tell that they're talking.
I know.
And I'm gonna say, from what I can understand, that they kicked the Badgers' butt.
Yeah, that is true. I don't know.
Dementor, help us out. We see them talking, but we can't hear them.
Sorry, I'm trying to update everybody's perspectives in here for the next games too. So
They were hurting. I have a feeling for. I have a feeling it's a user error. Maybe if they check their voice and video settings, tell them to leave and rejoin. Nope, nothing. I will say, even though we can't hear them, Tux, you had very stressful moments as a seeker, and I can only imagine how you must have felt. But being able to get those 2 catches must have felt amazing.
I'm
Go
muting
ahead.
and unmuting him.
Was Rick and Morty, or not Rick and Morty, Mordecai and Rigby just 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 get some hms in the chat.
He can only hear Shade.
He can only hear Shade, and I can't
What
hear
is
them.
happening? We're so good at this.
Discord, fix your problems. Shade, I will say, even though we can't hear him, maybe Tux can relay for us in the text chat. Shade, you were playing very solidly against Hufflepuffs. Were you feeling any kind of like stress, or was it because of? Aww. What's going on? Cleet, did you leave too? Can no one hear me now? I can't hear any of them. I can hear you. That's it. No. Don't tell me I'm gonna be the other one commentating. Dementor, help me out. I blame Slytherins.
What the fuck?
I don't know what's happening.
Oh.
Oh, that's
There
better.
we go.
What the
I hear
fuck?
voices.
I hear sounds. I see colors.
There we go.
Amazing.
Hello.
Yes. Thank you.
Oh, much better.
Yes.
Okay,
All right. So we've got
So-
Shade and Tux then. Just a quick reintroduction after that horribleness. Tux was the Seeker that you just saw on the Slytherin team in that last match, and then Shade, the Keeper for the Slytherin team. So yeah, go ahead, Hog. Go ahead and take it off.
So Tux, I know when you got switched to Seeker first, you didn't make a catch until the Hufflepuff game, really.
What? I catch a Gryffindor. That's lies. No,
That's
no,
right.
no,
We
no.
didn't get to see that. Okay,
Yeah.
we are saying what we got to see, sir.
I see.
But how did it feel to actually, like which one of the teams were more of a stress point for you? Was it more of like Gryffindor or Hufflepuff? Like which one was more of a stressful from the Seeker point of view?
Probably Hufflepuff. I just fucked up on Ravenclaw. I was 100% before him, and I don't know. I think first one I just didn't got the indicator to catch, and then second one I just completely blundered out of my mind. And then I set up a summoning circle and summoned Skinny out of the ground, and then we
I
won.
saw that. I did
We
see that.
basically
You did
told
summon
Tux
Skinny.
if he doesn't catch it, he's out of the team. So
Yeah,
Like-
so I actually was like, okay, I can catch them if you guys really want.
Awesome.
Okay,
What
I
do you
guess
think,
I can try.
yeah,
Tux, I want to know where do you think most of the pressure was coming from? Was it mostly from beaters, chasers, the
Yeah,
other
from
Seeker? Where was
Rishi.
it? From Rishi.
Mm.
Okay, gotcha. Yep.
Yep.
Was Rishi running Meter Thief on you?
No,
No. Okay, so just the
no,
one.
she's just no one.
Got you.
Oh,
Awesome. And
also,
then-
and like 9 hero kicks in a row. That was also some pressure.
Oh
maybe.
yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. That
just
was,
call
what
it
was
out,
that,
Tux.
third?
Like, come on.
Awesome. And then Shade, kind of same question, but from a keeper perspective, what was the most pressure you were getting from the other team? Was it one timers?
It was the desync.
Okay, desync. Yeah, that'll do it.
No, but I mean, it was a lot of focus on the Seeker game, so we went on the Seeker there on Leisure because
Yeah.
he put a lot of pressure.
And I made that comment too during the stream that truthfully, and again, everyone in these matches, they're all great players. So I'm not trying to talk bad about anyone, but I think the Slytherin Chaser lineup clearly had a bit of a lead there. It seemed like the Slytherin Chaser core was just a bit stronger, able to put some more points on the board for you. So it did seem like it was coming down a lot more to that Seeker game, and applying that pressure from any different perspective. We saw Chasers, we saw Seekers, Beaters, and Keepers going after the Seeker there.
Yeah, we were training since 1 week straight. Like every day, we said, okay, sit down for hours and train with this chaser core,
Yeah,
just to get them locked down for this
Yeah.
game.
like we
So,
started from like what 2 p.m. all the way. Sometimes we stayed longer, you know.
Wow. It paid off. It absolutely paid off. And I think that's one of the most understated things in this game is that team flow. So like Scale, you can be a great player, but this is very much a team sport. It is hard for one person to carry. Even a great Seeker can't necessarily carry a team. So it is interesting to see that kind of flow through all the team and all the roles.
I mean,
Oh,
there was one that actually carried the game and helped us in our hour of need. So I would really like to thank the Warner Brothers servers to be on our side.
Yes, the odds were in your favor for that one. Then we never know how it's going to play out with the servers here, of course.
yeah, we also had some struggles while training. I mean, Cardi is an obvious struggle, but then we had a lot of rimmers, and we had to get this fixed in 5 days, and we were like, okay, log in. And then Skinny was yesterday like, oh my god, I don't know if I can do this. And then he sit down the night, and I think he slept 1 hour because he was training to not rim. I think he got it down though. I'm very proud.
I do want
Yeah.
to say. and
We
I
didn't
hope
sleep
this-
for like properly at all. Like
Oh, nice.
what 4
nice.
hours?
Very nice, very nice. No one who needs sleep. Sleeps for the week, right?
Exactly.
Honestly.
All right, so that does set us up into an interesting I guess bracket layout then, because right now you and Hufflepuff are both 2-1. We've got Ravenclaw going to be going against Gryffindor. If Ravenclaw takes that win, they will also be 2-1, which will put us at a 3-way tie there.
Ravenclaw
Wait,
did
wait,
take
but-
that win.
What's that? Sorry?
Ravenclaw did take the win against Gryffindor.
Oh, it's done. I apologize. I didn't know what happened
Yeah,
already.
so both rounds went in favor of Ravenclaw.
Okay, but like Hufflepuff lost like one round against Ravenclaw, no? So it's like one game or one. Oh, they have one more loss.
Yeah, they lost one round, so they have 2 wins and 1 loss in total.
Yeah.
Game wise.
So we will have to see how that plays out. I'll be honest. I'm not exactly sure. I'm sure Warbeard right now is working on that. I know it was posted for the rules there, but I'll be honest, I don't know off the top of my head.
I say you let a hog roll his d20.
If we're not in the final text, we'll uninstall.
Yeah. I will find Warbeard then.
Let's jump ahead to the final. Let's pretend Slytherin's there. Now, if you could go against Ravenclaw or Hufflepuff, obviously you had a loss to Ravenclaw and you won against Hufflepuff. However, it sounds like Hufflepuff may have been the harder win for you overall. Am I adding that up right? That you feel like Ravenclaw you could take?
I mean, I still definitely want to play against Ravenclaw. We have to fix the loss that we had. We have to get revenge for that. So,
gotcha. So you're hoping for a
Ravenclaw
Slytherin final then?
Of course.
Fair enough. Awesome. Well, I'm sure we will have that coming up here soon. You both will be playing in that, obviously. Do you know, and if you don't want to reveal secrets, totally fine. Do you know what roles you'll be playing in?
Tux will be Chaser, I will be Beater, and Skinny will Seek.
Nice. Okay, sounds good to me.
I know I speak Slytherin code. I know the code. I keep it to myself. I know.
So I secretly been practicing Beater. So on the final,
I will probably play bench, and Skinny will play coach. So I'm not sure about this one yet.
There you go. Actually, okay, I am curious of that before I let you guys go here. What is your least optimal role? Obviously, you both play in a couple of different positions. What is don't put me on this one, or I prefer not to be put on this one?
Keeper.
I mean, I actually play everything. I don't really care.
Okay.
But
Fair.
my worst is probably Chaser, I think.
Hear me out.
I mean, Beater for me, if I'm gonna be honest, but
yeah.
So
I would love to see, especially like people who are regarded as good players in this game, like the two of you. I would love to see a match that is just putting all of you on your least favorite role or your least optimal.
Oh, that'd be so much fun.
And just see how it goes.
I also have to say, there's a difference between my worst role, like skill wise, and my least favorite role. Because my worst role is Chaser, my least favorite is Keeper. So that's
that's
well. The interesting thing is, what if we did a tournament where it was the weakest become the strongest, and we put everyone in their weakest role?
I would watch it. I'm just saying, I would absolutely watch
play it. My weak suit's Keeper.
I wouldn't play it. I would not play it. I would not play Keeper. You couldn't catch me dead.
My happy tail is weakest against playing Keeper. As anyone in the 5v5 tournament knows.
Nice.
We don't talk about that.
Everyone uses 0-0-0 as well.
Yeah, just no skill points, just all just flat 0, and we all have to just play the.
Everyone plays with left hand as well.
I'm good with my left hand.
Okay, then right hand for you.
Nah, blue bottle broom. There we go. Make it the slowest game possible.
All right. Well, we do have Zai in the waiting room, so I am going to move on to Zai, the captain of the Hufflepuff team. But before we get you two,
no, let's just have Slytherin and Hufflepuff just have a little conversation.
Ooh.
No, I'm not. We might bring it.
It's too late. Hi, Zai. How you doing today?
Hi, Zai.
Hi.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Hello. All right. First off, is it Zai or is it Zay?
I say Zay.
Zai.
Zai.
Yeah, I was right. Hell yeah.
I thought Zai from how Naruto it's SAI Sai. I thought Zai.
Okay. All right. So Zai, coming in here as the Hufflepuff team captain. Talk to us. How's your day been so far? We haven't really heard from the Hufflepuff side of things at all. So what's the team like right now?
We had Jim Tones in here earlier.
Right now, we're doing pretty good. I mean, we're a little shaken up by that Slytherin loss, but we're hoping that we'll get a comeback if we have to fight them again.
Absolutely. And as far as that goes, obviously they are in here as well. This is a very friendly, competitive league here, so we can have opponents in against each other and keep it civil. And that is not me reminding
Remember,
everyone
this
that we
isn't a
need to
Call of
do
Duty
that.
lobby.
Oh, it's
How does
not.
it feel to be a stinky poo poo head?
Oh, so I have to close my
Oh.
soundboard again? Oh, no.
It's Stinky Poo Poo Head. That is pushing it. Okay, you watch your
Nah,
mouth,
nah, nah.
please.
It's fine. It's fine. You know what? Here's what I have to say to that. Beautiful.
Nice.
Now, Zai, obviously, we have seen some close matches here for the Hufflepuff team. Some of the closest, I think, have been from our Hufflepuffs. So I would assume that that is giving a bit of, I guess, invigoration for the team. Is that right? I mean, with close calls every time, you are just constantly on. Is that how everyone's feeling now?
Yeah, we're all feeling all fired up and ready to go, and we're gonna do whatever it takes to, come out of this on top.
Awesome. Now, going forward, should we expect to see some lineup changes? Should we see the same? Again, don't have to reveal secrets. Obviously, this is being aired,
Well,
but just kind
we'll
of curious of
we'll see how
strategy-wise.
things go, but so far we've been keeping our lineup mostly similar. A few players here and there have opted out of playing the elimination games.
Definitely, definitely. And is that was that the intention kind of going in of just like locking in that lineup and going strong? How have the practices been? Have you been practicing all together? More of just the starting lineup? What's that looked like?
So far, we've just been practicing all together through the Q6, and typically it doesn't work out, but for the most part, we all get our practice in. We play up against some really tough opponents, so I can say that we're all warmed up and ready to go, and we're keeping each other warmed up, trying to run 1v1s and, make sure that our keepers are on top.
Fantastic. And where do you feel the Hufflepuff team is shining most? What's your biggest strength right now with this lineup?
I definitely feel it's our seeker game. Our beater is really strong as well, and she's putting in amazing work, doing a great job. And Rishi is
Um,
doing his best and doing whatever he can to make sure that he gets that snitch. So
I
as long as he stays on doing what he's doing,
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll win.
I don't mean to cut
Awesome.
anyone off. I did get an update from our reporter out in the field that the finals are going to be against Ravenclaw and Slytherin.
Oh, hell
And
yeah.
so I believe, and Zai, while we have you in here, I believe that will come down to the win totals. We do have some report coming in that we'll be able to let everyone know what that
I think
decision was
I,
made.
I I think it's because Hufflepuff lost like 2-0 against us, and then they lost one game to Ravenclaw. So they've one loss more
They
than us.
are double checking scores for accuracy of points, as what I'm
Oh.
hearing from my hog ears flapping around.
Right. So we'll hold off on updates on that until they get us a final call on it. But once they get that checked out, we will move into the finals. We'll let you know who it is in there. We know for sure. But yeah, so if we are moving into that route, we will see our Slytherin team here again. Now, Zai, I do want to finish up there with the Hufflepuffs too, just kind of talking about that. As far as moments, do we have any like this was the best moment of the day for the Hufflepuff team?
I don't feel like there's any standout moments, but that's also because I'm watching through other people's eyes instead of playing myself. I've decided, Scourge is doing his thing and everything, and everyone's all doing great. And from what I can see, I mean, our chasers are doing everything that they can to make sure that our keepers are well.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right. Well, on that note, then, let's see. We do look like we've got some points coming in here to get us that finals here. Any final thoughts? We'll start with you, Zai. Any final thoughts that you want to put out there from the Badgers, from the Hufflepuffs, if this is the last we see of the Hufflepuffs, if those points weren't quite there to get you in the finals? Anything you want to say on behalf of the team?
Interesting.
Does look like we done. All right, I'm gonna move on to the Slytherins then. So Shade, Tux, whoever wants to speak up there. Any final thoughts from you guys in case it is the last we hear from you today?
That's
What? What? Oh yeah, I'm
Well,
getting
I-
I'm getting the big revenge on Ravenclaw. Easy.
Awesome, perfect. All right, well, thank you guys for joining us here in the chat. Like I said, feel free to pop into that waiting room later if you want to pop back in. Can't guarantee pop it in here, but we'd love to chat more. Anyone else as well, whether you're playing in the tournament or not. Obviously prefer the community members who are playing, even if it's not today, just so we are. Oh, sorry, go ahead. Someone.
No, it's not about that. I just
Oh.
want to state that I just got a notification that who got my points. I want my points back for the predictions in Twitch. I just lost all my points to Moonlight. I want them back. I want my points
That's
back.
unfortunate.
what the fuck?
I demand my points
99%
back.
on Hufflepuff.
I demand my
Thanks for believing in us.
798 points back.
Damn.
All right, awesome. Well, I'm gonna call for a water break for myself. So if we could pop into a little intermission here, we will pop back on the screens with the final updates for you as far as the final point totals and
Ooh, if we're
everything
gonna
of
take
who
a
is
water
going in the
break, then
finals.
we gotta do my saying before we take the water break.
Okay.
I hope everyone's having fun. And remember, Daddy Hog is watching.
Oh, not that. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
That's gonna be the
All
motto
right,
now for taking a water
restraining
break.
order it is.
It's too late. I'm in your walls.
Yeah,
Whoa,
send me a
whoa,
copy.
whoa. All right. What's this?
All
I'm
right,
in
I'm
the
gonna
walls.
go to my team now. Goodbye.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Dementor, get us on out of here for a break if you could.
No break for you.
Awesome.
No break for you. Predict the grand
Perfect.
finals. Ravenclaw and Slytherin. I have a total of 190 points. Okay. Cleek, do you got any channel points for Twitch?
I don't think so. I don't really know what that means.
Happy Christmas, Harry. Happy Christmas, Ron.
All right, perfect. In that case, let me get us all loaded up here. We just saw. All right, bringing everybody back. My apologies. So we did have a delay getting this going again here, but we are in the middle of the finals right now. It is Slytherin versus Ravenclaw. Ravenclaw has a 60-point lead. I'm sorry, that is not what I meant to say. Ravenclaw
A
has 60
60-point lead.
points,
Jesus, that would
and
be a kick in the
Slytherin
pants.
has 40 points. So Ravenclaw, 20-point lead right now. Also a small lead on the Snitch. There are 3 minutes left. Ravenclaw has that 20 points on Slytherin. This is a 1-game match, I believe, not a best of 3 for this final.
This is the finals, yes.
Yeah, so this match will determine the Founders Cup winner between Slytherin and Ravenclaw. Currently, your boy Skinny is in possession of that quaffle there. It did go back
Ravenclaw
to the
did
hands
steal
of
it, though.
Ravenclaw.
And I
All right,
mean,
I
you know,
apologize. Let's get us.
no, you're all
We're
good.
gonna switch over to Ravenclaw here. So this is Jim Tones as the beater trying to take out some chasers.
And you know, I wonder how this is gonna work out because the last time Slytherin was in the finals, they did lose to Gryffindor. So I wonder if they'll be able to overcome that Slytherin setback.
Absolutely.
But we do see that Jim Tones did just knock out one of Slytherin's chasers, kind of giving what I would believe was breathing room, but Skinny Boy, or your boy Skinny, just with that goal, making it 60-50 in favor of Ravenclaw currently. And the Stitch race is actually neck and neck right now. I mean, Jim Tones is focusing his attention between Seeker, Beater, and Chaser, which is very stressful for the Beater role.
Yeah, we just saw him do some damage to Flyrish. However, Flyrish looks like took a big chunk out of T-Rabo, the Seeker for Ravenclaw. 60-50 with a minute 40 left. Close Snitch race. This is a very close match for a finals with only a 10-point difference here. Let's go ahead and swap on over to the Slytherin keeper there.
We do have Baby Oda just made a goal, make it 70-50. They will have to make another goal for that room.
I switched just a little late
I believe
there.
T. Rabo just got knocked out, so they will need to make that other goal for that snitch insurance. With a minute and 13 left currently.
Yeah, so 20-point difference. Slytherin, though, is in the lead with the Snitch. If they make this Snitch catch, they win by 10. So at this point, Ravenclaw either needs to stop that Snitch catch from happening. Here we see Jim Tones trying to do that as the beater, trying to take Tux out. But they also really could use another goal there so that at least if Slytherin catches it, they are only tied and then it goes into overtime. So right now, we really need to see another goal from Ravenclaw because Slytherin is about to catch this. Let's go ahead and see Tux now about to catch the Snitch, it looks like, as
Tux is playing it up top. Ooh, and Slytherin did just make that goal as well, which does not allow Ravenclaw to get that Snitch insurance. And they do catch making 90-70 with 20 seconds left. I believe Slytherin is going to bring home the gold in this match.
Yeah, that does kind of start to seal the fate here with 20 seconds left. I don't think that they're going to be able to make it happen here. Slytherin Cardi in possession of the ball, puts it through, ending the game. Slytherin 100-0. Cardi puts that final goal there. Let's switch to Slytherin perspective here as you see 100-70 as the final score. Shade listed there as the keeper we just saw in here. Prophecy, another chaser, and Skinny chaser as well. Again, just showing the dominance of this chaser game on the side of the Slytherins here. They put in a lot of work, as we heard from Tux and Shade, and it did pay off as they were able to put a lot of points on the board there. And then, of course, Tux as the Seeker there.
I just see Tux just dancing around with his mouse, just dancing around the screen. And
he is excited there. So that does round out the Founders Cup second weekend. The cup will move from Gryffindors now into the hands of Slytherin. Slytherin, the current winners of the Founder Cup, they will hold that title until our next one. if we want, let's see, Tux, Shade, if you want to hop in and say anything, we've had you in here a couple times, but any Slytherins want to jump in and talk, you're welcome to before we round this out. Obviously, Dementor here, who has been producing for us. I'm not mistaken, right? Dementor is usually on the Slytherin team. Is that correct?
Dementor is the Seeker.
Yeah.
Remember in the first tournament, Dementor was that powerhouse. They have the Seekers.
I just couldn't remember which house he is, but yes, absolutely for the Slytherins there. So I'm sure he is very happy to see this win for his house there as well. All right, well, I think that will go ahead and wrap up this tournament then. Doesn't look like we have anyone talking, which, like we said, we've got a bunch from throughout the tournament. So unless I hear otherwise from the sources that be, I think we are going to go ahead and wrap up this tournament here. So Slytherin will end the Founders Cup as the winners here. Let's hear it for the snakes in the chat. Don't worry, though, if you are unhappy about this result, there will be a chance to take it back from those Slytherins in the future. But for now, congratulations to them. Anything, Hog, before we sign off here?
Good job to all the teams, stay all the houses. I'm proud of you all. Good job, Slytherin. You played very well. You did come back very strongly.
Awesome.
But
Is that all?
No.
More.
That's
Okay,
not all.
go ahead.
Yeah, there is more. You want to know what I want?
What?
I think I'm going to be in the next tournament.
Wow. All right. So Hog is leaving me. That does mean applications are open for
No, I just said the next tournament. If the Ravenclaws will allow me to come, I will go to the next tournament.
Yeah, which means that you're fired from this position for that tournament.
I'm not fired. I can play one tournament round and then come back.
Which is a very valid point and great segue to we've got a pretty small team here working on this, so I think I can speak for all of us when I say that if anyone is interested in helping with this, definitely reach out to one of us. We can always use some extra hands and people knowing what they're doing on here. I was trying to balance some perspective changes and casting today, which was a difficult challenge for me, but it has been cool to learn and get this stuff down a little bit more. So anyone who does want to be involved with it, reach out. We can figure out something to get you involved, whether it's casting or something else in the background. But yeah, looking to grow the team, especially because I would like to fire Hog. So
why me? What'd I do?
No, but I would like to play in a tournament every now and then too. So it would be good to have some alternate.
Yeah, I believe you can
options as
solo
well.
commentate. I have the belief.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't want to hear my voice only for that long. So
I mean, listen. Technically, I can do non-biased commentary while I play.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna do that
because it's first-person point of view. So
I've heard you on the microphone while we're playing, and I think there's some things said during matches.
No.
That
I can be business friendly.
I've yet to see that, but
you've seen it for 2 weekends, sir.
That is fair. You've been pretty behaved, and I'm happy for you. Your name is Daddy Hog still, but I am proud of you.
Actually, technically, the full name is Oiled Up Daddy Hog. Get your facts straight.
No, we don't talk about that.
We talk about it.
Awesome.
Thanks, a certain person who watches this stream. Thanks to your stream. Now that's my name.
Thank you to everybody for watching. Chat seemed really active. I'm sorry, I suck at looking at that and doing the casting, so I missed if there was things there, but I hope you were all having a good time watching Quidditch. Let's keep this game alive, keep it going. We will have some more Quidditch coming up at the next tournament there. So anything in here, Dementor, anyone want to jump in before we round out? We good? I'm gonna say we're good.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna say we're good. Have a
great.
Cleet,
hold on. Cleet, stop.
Right. Okay.
Dementor, go ahead.
See, this is why I don't like doing video, because then when I don't know what's going on, it's just me staring at the screen blankly, and everybody gets to see.
I'm staring at you.
That's great, but you at least are. I don't even know. I don't want those ears, so I was gonna be jealous of the ears, but it's actually just the hoodie. I like the hoodie. It's a nice color.
Leave my ears alone. My ears have done nothing to you.
All right, sounds good. We are going to go ahead and wrap up here. So that does conclude the Founders Cup, the second one there. Thank you all for joining us, and look forward to some more Quidditch.
All right, we're all good.
Dude, really? I even got combos off on. I still didn't get credit for it.
I'm supposed to pick up parcels along the roadway, but I'm not seeing any.
I didn't do that, so I don't know how to help you. Alright, going to be re-flirt. Alright, take care, man. Thanks, appreciate it, man. I can't.